Curling now enters the Sports Weekend spotlight.
Hi again, curling fans. Let's get right to it. Colleen tells us she has a new prop. We were talking just seconds ago.
You got to wait a while. You got to slow down. I'm not just going to pull the prop out at the top of the show.
Now you're going to rhyme. We're going to have some fun tonight, a full week of Brier curling ahead. I don't know if it's just me or if you've noticed this, but it feels pretty intense out there for this early in the Brier. I think we're getting a sense that these players know just how big these games are already, Colleen.
Well, they are, and we notice that in the women's too. Maybe not that same level of what you're describing, intensity, but they were intense. I'm not saying that. International Women's Day, they were very intense. But what we noticed during the women's was this need not to lose in the preliminaries in the early rounds, because you don't want to kind of get to three. Definitely don't get to 4 losses.
Right.
You might not make the championship pool with 4. So, and then you carry over your losses and you only have those 4 games left in the championship pool. Only 3 make the playoffs. I know we've been through all this math.
Right.
It makes for every game is intense.
Right.
So,
and I'm sure you have this all spelled out on one of your 25 boards.
You're making fun of my boards too much.
No. I love them just as much as all the fans love them, and I know how hard you work on them. Listen, we had the morning off, so we were able to recharge, drink a lot of coffee, have some lattes. You have your berry smoothies. We're all fired up.
You're fired up. And excited about our first guest.
Right. We did have some games this afternoon and some compelling action on the ice. We're going to get to Brad Jacobs in a second here, dropping a game in an extra end to New Brunswick. But you talk about not wanting to get to 3 losses.
Right.
We'll talk to Brad about this. He started 1-3 last year, then won 6 in a row. So it is a long week.
Yeah.
You can't get on a roll, but of course you want to save those 9 lives.
You do. And the legit thing, like a lot of people might go, oh, New Brunswick, James Grattan. James Grattan's a good player. They are strong. They compete well at the Brier. They believe, having been able to curl for most of the pandemic, although I know the curling club shut down for a while in New Brunswick, that they had an advantage of being able to strip. Well, we had him on the show last night, and he talked about, wait a minute, let me just quote James. He said, rather than having to focus and get psyched up for the Provincial, they were able to just focus on the Brier, almost like they were Team Canada.
Right.
Those are my words, not his. I think not having a Provincial is a detriment, because I think people really see where they're at and they know, okay, there's what I need to call up.
Right.
Prior to. But
so this afternoon we saw BC get its first win. We saw a botcher win over, what are we calling it? Midward? Is that the team? Is that the name we landed on? And of course, New Brunswick getting the win in the extra end over Northern Ontario.
I think we are calling for my board, aren't we?
We are calling for the
Gunners. Manitoba's playing really well. Botcher looked good in his game against the Midward team from Ontario. There's Grattan now at 3-1. Wild card Midward.
Other way.
And jeepers, don't make me do that. And then of course, British Columbia.
Right.
Cotter took over the skipping lanes today, and they picked up their first win. That's a legit team that's going to come up with some wins.
Hey, there's a lot of curling left. We're going to bring in Brad Jacobs in a second. I just, before we bring him in, we're going to watch a video, but I also want to say that I'm at our CBC Broadcast Center, and we have the Hall of Champions as you walk into this space, and Brad Jacobs is on that wall from that, brilliant 2014 Olympic gold run. So I needed to point that out. He's on the Hall of Champions.
Over there.
That way. Let's watch a video from the 2013 Brier win and some nice photos from that 2014 Olympic gold medal win before we bring him in.
Here's the sizzle reel.
Last rock, Jeff Stoughton. Needs to bend now just to catch the stone just thrown. Needs to bend and will just touch it. Northern Ontario will stun Manitoba. all on its own, facing three.
Okay.
One more. Northern Ontario.
Yeah. Okay, good shot.
Manitoba will score 2.
Good job, guys.
And listen to the fans here at Rexall Place. One more time.
Awesome.
That's how you do it.
Yep, that's how you
Make everything. I don't remember. That's a lopsided Brier final. I'd have to go back into my history books to see.
I mean, that was a pretty remarkable run for that team. I mean, they won the Brier, they won the trials, they snuck in through a pre-trial qualifying event. They came in, they dominated. Then they went into the Olympics. They got on a roll. They won Olympic gold there. Here's a team. So fascinating and brilliant, really, to watch it all unfold in Sochi. Double gold for Canada. Brad Jacobs and the team there celebrating. And, of course, Jennifer Jones went on to win as well and jump for joy, jump for gold, no doubt. That was awesome to watch. A great memory to look back on. And
I was in Sochi in the media pen with Brad Jacobs, the one and only. I think I was so nervous. You were excited, Brad. I was like, okay, I was through the ringer watching that game, even though you guys were dominant. Hi, how are you? Do you like
Hello. I've been better. Thank you for playing the little sizzle reel. I was watching that. I needed to be cheered up a little bit.
That is you, okay? You're looking good. Do you need a pep talk right now?
Please, let's make it happen. That's what this. How long do you have me for?
However, we're not
as long as you want,
Brad, till you're ready to go back on the ice. And if this doesn't get you in the mood, I made you a little something.
Okay.
What?
Okay. All of Northern Ontario is doing that right now.
All of them. All of them.
I cut a
Appreciate
finger.
it.
I waxed the thing. Okay. Are you missing that noise, by the way?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit. It's that the fans are there. It's a very unique thing, and it would be nice to have that. But that's okay. Thanks for bringing it in. Is that a moose? Is that a moose?
It's a moose hat, and I finished knitting it in time. So if you had canceled just because you lost, this was a lot of fingers. We've got a lot of Twitter fans who are knitters. So
Perfect.
Anyhow, how are you? Let's forget about today because it's so yesterday, isn't it?
Already, yes, please.
You're moving on.
Yeah.
How do you move on?
Yeah, well, you know what? We're going to have a quick little team meeting here, talk about what happened out there and how we can, things we got to do moving forward. I think we played very well for most of the game. It really came down to just a couple little shots here and there, and that's curling, as you guys know. I was listening to you guys chatting before you'd let me in, and yeah, every game is extremely important. Being 2-2 right now is a bummer. It sucks. Let's be honest. This is a massive uphill battle for our team. I know we can do it. We're going to give it everything we have. We have no quit in us, but it's going to be we're in for a long one here.
That is the awesome thing about your team. You don't have any quit.
No.
And how do you now just make sure you forget it's 2-2 and every day, every game is the one to focus on? How do you not let yourself get too far ahead?
Well, it's going to be tough. I think our backs are against the wall. That's the way that I look at it. We've been in this position many times. We were in this position at last year's Brier. We're confident in our abilities. I think that we're not off by much. I'm kind of stunned that we're 2-2 right now, quite frankly. So we're going to keep plugging away here and just take it one shot, one game at a time, try to be in the moment, leave it all out there, each and every shot, and fingers crossed.
Brad, in our conversations over the last number of Briers, you've been very revealing and open about the work you've done on the mental part of your game. I've been hearing that you guys did a lot of conversations, a lot of phone calls to people, a lot of reaching out and preparing. Can you walk us through that? And how much do you lean on that right now when it isn't going the way you thought it was going to go?
Well, and that's part of the reason why you put things like this in place as a team. And I know that all of the top teams do it. We've got an amazing coaching staff and help from our sports psychologist, Arthur Perlini and Rick Lang. And we have Lee Toner here at the Brier with us. We did a lot of calls like this over Zoom leading into the Brier. We developed, a great playbook. We tried to, think of all the challenges and get ahead of what's it going to feel like when we're in this thing. And you know what? I think we did a really good job of that. Everybody feels great. Everybody feels safe. I think everybody is well rested. It's a unique Brier, and obviously that there's no fans and we don't have to do autograph signing sessions. There's no up close and personal or any of that stuff. We get to come back to the hotel and really just relax and kind of have team meetings and be with one another. So lots of time to sort of be able to rest, recover, bounce back. And I'm hoping we can do that tomorrow.
Yeah, there's no energy suckers for you. The nice thing in your pool, though, there's only one team with Manitoba with a 0. And so then there's the, 1, 2, 3 teams with 1 losses. Those are going to come down to 2. So I love looking at standings and going, these are early days, super early days. So destiny's in your hands.
Exactly. And that's how you want it. Right. And, that's one of the fun things about this. You never know what's going to happen. And yes, destiny is in our hands. And, you love having the control over your own destiny for the most part, so to speak. And this is such a deep field, as you guys both know. It's crazy how talented, how hardworking, how just good all these teams are. So we're going to keep plugging away here, and we'll see how it goes.
You're obviously missing the crowd. I've heard you mention it a couple of times, but you've also, you guys with the fist pump and the energy and getting fired up. How much does that change what's happening out there, Brad?
I think we've gotten really used to it, Devin. We do love the crowd. We love the energy of the crowd. Especially love coming out to Western Canada, where the fans are so knowledgeable and usually fill up the arena, full. And Kingston last year was incredible. I couldn't believe how good it was in Kingston last year with the fans. We miss playing, in front of the fans, absolutely. But I think that we are bringing a pretty decent level of compete to each and every game, and I think I've seen some of the struggles. Like, I've been watching the games on TV. We've gone to the arena, and I think some teams are struggling with that a little bit, although everybody seems to be getting into a pretty good rhythm now.
It's a slippery game played on ice, isn't it? What is your big motivator, though? Because, when we just played your sizzle reel, it's like, wow, you could just retire. You don't have to go all Tom Brady on us. What's the driver for you?
Long ways away from that. Well, you know what? We've got a great team. We're still young. We take this, we approach this whole sport like professionals. We still love to play and love to compete. I would be lying if I said that the losing feeling, as we all know, is awful. But I've learned as I get older to embrace that feeling a little bit more and understand that, we put ourselves out there. We are courageous. We go and we compete. We lay things on the line. It's not easy what we do. And it really helps build you up as a person, build your character, and make you a tougher human being. So we welcome those times of adversity, the challenges that we face, and we're certainly facing them right now. I kind of miss that feeling. It's been a long time. It's been over a year since we've really had to grind and felt this way. I wish that this feeling, I wish more people could truly feel what it's like to compete as an elite athlete.
Wow.
You're on the edge, and that was beautifully said.
You don't need a pep talk.
No, you don't. You just gave us a pep talk.
You just gave us a pep talk.
Yeah, we're
good.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Quote right there.
Just say that to the team, and they'll be running
they always
through
say pressure's a privilege. That you get to be in that arena. So you go enjoy it. You go Bring it. Okay.
Yeah, you got it. And hey, happy International Women's Day. This is a great day to celebrate all those women out there, the women who are going through challenges, women leaders, just the whole thing in bringing awareness to this is fantastic. And we support that wholeheartedly. So
Yeah.
Awesome, Brad.
And we've got a great sizzle reel of the great women curlers who have paved the path.
yeah,
So that's coming later.
you're one of them.
You just go win. You go do what you do. You go grind. Okay. You're not going to take the easy way.
No,
That would be no fun.
we don't do that.
If you went undefeated, you'd be like, I'm undefeated. No.
Awesome.
Doesn't suit us.
Enjoy it.
Awesome,
Okay,
Brad.
guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's nice to have you on the show.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Whatever it is we do.
My pleasure.
Okay. Good luck.
Hey, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Brad.
Well
Awesome.
said.
Awesome perspective.
Yeah.
And I was just saying, Call at in some of the scrums, some of the most memorable post-game scrums over the last number of Briers that I've covered have been from that man right there. And beautiful words just now, beautiful perspective. And those guys are going to be bringing it the rest of the way. Don't count them out just yet.
Yeah, he's eloquent. Those were eloquent words, though. And I hope a lot of junior curlers were listening to that, because
Good point.
you have to get used to the pressure cooker. You've got to appreciate, you got to love it. And it's the fuel that fires the engine.
Well, and I don't know anything about this competing at that high level. You do, but I think sometimes you forget about what you're doing out there. And when he speaks about putting yourself out there in that very courageous way, you've done it so long that you almost lose sight of what you've done and what you're doing and all the people watching and critiquing.
Right.
So that reminder, that was, I'm going to remember that for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Anyhow, we're moving.
Fan time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why we do the show.
Yeah, in the house, and just a great curling fan from Manitoba. There's something in the water there. They've got great curlers and great curling fans in Manitoba. Someone who's very active on Twitter. We're going to bring in Julie right now, a grade 1 teacher in Manitoba, a great curling fan. And hello to you, Julie. It's great to see you.
Great to see you, Devin and Colleen. Hi.
Nice to have you with us.
Good to be on.
How do you like the fact? I feel like a teacher now. That
I
Manitoba
love
is
all your
leading the
words.
way. Do you like that?
I do. I'm more of a McEwen fan, to
Okay.
be honest. So, but I'm happy.
Oh, there he is. 2 of
Yeah,
one.
he's down there. Down there. I love Dunstone too. He's a Manitoba boy, but repping the Saskatchewan colors. I got some green for Saskatchewan on today.
I appreciate that.
Just for you.
Julie, you are a grade 1 teacher. You're such a big fan of the game, always positive vibes you're putting out there, supporting the game, but also teaching your class curling. Tell us a little bit about that.
So this was, I think, before the Scotties last year when we could still be close to each other. And I brought all my kids over and I taught them how to curl. We had curling on for like snack time and they're watching Scotties and the Brier. And they were getting so into it. It was so much fun. And now those little curling rocks, I'm teaching my niece how to curl. She's almost 2. So
Julie, I love your lesson plans. You wanted to watch curling. You somehow brought all of history, math, and English. There's a lot of curling lingo, isn't there?
There is, for sure.
And you play.
I do. I just recently started playing. I've been a fan of the game for years, watched the Olympics when it would come around. And then, there's my team. So there's Roseanne and Scott and Harry or Skip beside me. We play out of the Pembina Curling Club. I think Caitlin Law has played out of there for a while. I've seen her name on some banners upstairs. My dad kind of encouraged me to try it out for a couple of years, and then interacting with Devin on Twitter. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to try it. So last year was my first year, and it was awesome. I learned so much. I mean, it's a beginning, learn to curl, but hey, it's fun, and the community is amazing. Yeah. And now I'm this year we kind of got shut down after the first couple games, but I'm helping run that league now. So it's kind of cool. The family, the curling family Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's
We
pretty
talk about it all the time. I mean, next year you're probably representing Manitoba at the Scotties. I mean,
Oh gosh. I just can't wait to get back on the ice.
that's great. We love hearing those kind of stories, though, don't we, Deb?
Yeah, and Julie, like I said, you know, you're so engaged, and I know you've connected with so many people and a lot of great back and forth. You're on the ice now, but reflecting on watching all those years, do you have games or moments that stand out to you as sort of top moments that you can recall?
Watching Jennifer Jones win the Olympics. I think it was 2014, right? Sochi. That was amazing, and that hooked me onto their team. I've always loved Caitlin Laws, seeing her and Johnny Moe in the mixed doubles. I just love curling. I love it all.
Yeah. Well, good for you. Good for you. Well, nice to have you with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
So good. It's so good to see you, Julie. And I know we'll be on Twitter and you'll be lighting up the board tonight. So it's awesome to have you on the show and good to see you.
Thank you very much. Have a great night, guys.
Night. Enjoy tonight's games.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I wonder when they take up curling.
Well, I was just about to
That
say
doesn't happen every day. Yeah.
and just being able to get out there and, like Julie says, a community, right? We've missed it. We've
Well,
missed
even Wayne Madaw talked about that last night, didn't he? You know, that he misses the patch. He misses talking to the curling fans. He was the last one to leave the patch usually. You know, but that's part of it. That's what makes it so lovely.
Right, because, and you and I have had many phone calls about this, but what sport at this elite level, Olympic champions, can you be in the stands watching it and then go to the patch or the Heartstop Lounge and talk to them? Right.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Moving on. Yeah, we're going to bring on John Epping, but we also have another sizzle reel because,
sizzle reels.
You know, in November, we're running back to Saskatoon for the Olympic trials, and Epping and company were the first team to book their ticket to my hometown. So let's watch them do that at the Canada Cup.
5 Canada Cups he has never won. And this one is for a trip to the curling trials for John Epping. And that first berth on the men's side of the 9-team field will go to John Epping out of the Leaside Curling Club in Toronto.
Very good, John. Does that feel like forever ago?
It does, actually. That's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
But I'm glad you showed that because it brings back great memories.
Awesome.
How sweet was it to be one of the first to book the Olympic trial ticket?
Awesome. Well, you know yourself, just getting that out of the way, and you can start planning for a couple of years out, and not having to grind it out and worry about collecting points and performing in this spiel or that spiel. It's nice to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Awesome. And now the Brier, John, and because you've been the feature game, we've got to see a lot of you already.
Yeah, trust me. We've heard about it on Twitter.
Yes. Yeah. So have I. But we have been able to see a lot of you. How would you evaluate the team where you guys are at? I know you're in a good spot, but I had tweeted some of the games have been a bit of an adventure. So you break down how you guys have been curling.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have asked us if we were happy to be 3-1 about halfway through that Dunstone game, right? We'd take it in a heartbeat. So yeah, it's been a bit of a grind so far. A little bit of rest, a little bit of getting used to the ice. You remember we haven't played a huge competitive game since the Brier last year in Kingston, and actually we haven't played as a full squad. We didn't have Matt in the events that we played in this fall. He had unfortunately thought he could fly and fell off a roof and had broken his wrist. So he was actually out for the fall. A lot of people don't know that, but
wow.
So it's actually the first time he's played with us in a year. So just a few things, and of course it takes a while to get back. But I think as Brad was saying, I heard earlier, like everybody's going to start to find their groove here, and you wait by the end of the week, you're going to see some great action.
I mean, just the other day, Glenn Howard was telling us about the tree that bumped and hit him and snowmobiling and broke all his ribs. And now he fell off the roof. Honestly,
I know. Well, remember, we're not professionals. We still have jobs. So he's a contractor and a famous, and a great one. And so, yeah, he was doing some work and it's kind of slipped off the roof and down. But he's such a strong guy, landed on his feet, was smart enough to kind of land on his left wrist. But he's a strong kid. So he's in great shape, as you can tell. He's working his butt off out there right now, sweeping.
And tell me what you guys did to, how many Zoom calls, and were you sick of Zoom by the end of it to bond?
Yeah, it was great. It was amazing how much we just missed seeing each other's faces and laughing. And yeah, we did a lot of that. And I think that, it was tricky preparing for this week, because usually throughout the season we'd, maybe try some new things or maybe change a bit of technical here, technical there, but didn't really have the time to do that leading up to this. So for us, it was just, what do we want to have in place and routines in place for this week and for the bubble, and not so much leading up to, what we're all really excited about is Saskatoon next fall.
I'm always excited to go home, John. So thank you for saying that.
Saskatchewan is I live in Ontario. I obviously love playing Saskatchewan. I absolutely love playing there. I love the fans and the people, and I have a ton of family in Saskatchewan. So I can't wait to go to Saskatoon.
Awesome. For the viewers, there's been some really good questions about what you're learning about the ice, how you're communicating, working out the rust. Can you tell us a few of those things, John? Because I've been listening to some of you guys communicate and talk, but can you just spell out for the curling fans what some of those things are that you would normally have worked out at this time of the season?
Yeah, it's a little different out there. One thing is it's way easier to communicate without the fans in the stands, which we miss. We wouldn't trade that in for anything. We want them back as soon as possible. But you know what? One thing that we've really focused on to make sure is that there's just not extra chatter that isn't needed between us in a shots. Just keeping it really simple. And just not talking for the sake of talking or getting an extra word in. So that's one thing we actually really wanted to focus on this week, and it's one thing I've always worked on in my coaching with other teams as well, is to have a plan and just keep it simple. Especially when the pressure gets in, it's amazing when you listen in the hack and all of a sudden there's some extra things said. It's like, you've never said that to me. Why are you saying that now? And it's amazing what that does. But man, I don't have to worry about it when I have Ryan Fry and Brent Lang with me. But that's one thing. Actually, Langer said, let's make sure there's no extra chatter and that we keep it simple and have, really think about what is, when we say something, what's our intention with that, right? Are we just saying something for saying it, or is, make sure we have an intention for that.
We have such wise guests.
We do.
Matt Jacobs and John Epping.
Oh, I think it's fake it till you make it.
I always used to hate that second guessing. You'd be ready in the hack and then somebody go, maybe throw it a little heavier, or we haven't seen this side. Like you'd go, okay, well, just should have told me sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's take a look at my beautiful whiteboard. And I just have to show it to everybody. There we go. Where are you? Oh, yeah, there you are. Number 2. How do you like Fournier? How do you like the horses? Are you looking at, who's the underdog here?
Quebec looks like they're playing really well right now. We've been peeking over and they look like they're playing well. Nova Scotia's playing well. I know we squeaked out a win there and one of our grinding wins, and Dunstone looks well. You know what a field. Like this field is so deep, and I mean I'd be hard pressed to see a team go undefeated through this, and I think it wouldn't shock me that the team that gets the bye to the final has 2 or 3 losses. I mean, you could see a 5-way tie at 8-3. I think it's just every game, and I don't think you can think about the records too much going, as a team, we're just trying to win every game possible because we know everyone's going to count.
5-way tie, 8-3. That'd be exciting.
I don't know. I just throw things out.
Oh, that'd be exciting.
No, it wouldn't. It would be tiebreaker hell is what it would be. John, how long could you be in the bubble? I mean, you could be there for a while. You're doing the mixed doubles, you and Lisa, and then, I mean, if you win this thing, you've got the men's worlds and then slam. You could be there for a long time.
Till the end of April. That's the plan. I packed to be here till the end of April. And could I got to mention a thank you, shout out to Lisa Weagle, my mixed doubles partner, because I'm spoiled. She left me a bunch of things when she left.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Did she leave her latte frother, her milk frother for you?
Well, it's funny you said that, Colleen. That's the only thing she forgot.
Oh my
No, I'm kidding. She did. She no, she's got me covered with the kettle. She's awesome. Toaster, you name it. She's an all-star partner. So
yeah, we got Lisa on the show on Wednesday. So
oh,
we'll give her a big. I mean, I'm sure you're texting her and going over mixed double strategy. How do you prepare for that? By the way, there's a wing in it.
You know, it's so interesting, and that's what I love about mixed doubles is actually just you and one other person out there trying to decide the strategic part, and then there's Lisa who probably wouldn't be involved as much with strategy as playing front end. So I love that she's so right in there now. I love that she's throwing the last rock. She gets the pressure for once. That's nice too. Nice to see it. And really, she's looking after her performance at the Scotties, and I've already told her and said I'm just going to jump in her backpack. She's going to carry me through. That's for sure.
Nice.
Good. That's good. Well, listen, good luck the rest of the way. So awesome to have you with us tonight.
Thank you. And happy International Women's Day. And Colleen, thank you for being a great ambassador to our sport and a great role model, not just to other women, but to me as well. And also congrats on being just a legend.
Oh,
nice.
And Devin, great too, Devin. You did too.
Good to see you, John.
Thank you, John.
Yes,
Come back tomorrow night.
I'd love to. See ya.
Awesome.
I'm feeling really,
good luck.
Feeling really nice about myself now. Thanks, John. Good luck.
Thanks.
See you, John. You should call and listen, we are going to get in. It is, and celebrating women, International Women's Day, so many great women. To all the women in my life, kicking ass out there, thank you for leading the way. And I was going to tweet out to you, Call. I've told you so many times, this is a dream for me to be doing this with you. You're such a champion. And like John said, a role model for me as well. So thank you for that. Sophie put together an incredible reel.
Love it.
Just some awesome moments over the years of a lot of high-powered women on the pebbled ice, throwing rocks and kicking ass. Let's take a look.
Driving down the coastline, watch my worries fade away. It's my time to shine now. I ain't got no time to waste. Releasing all the pressure of them that cause me to go. It's my time to shine now. I'm the star, yeah, it's my show. Feel my energy, embrace a brand new day. Stand up, yeah, I'm shouting out. I'm here, move out my way. Don't listen to the haters, yeah, no, I just fade them out. Stand up, yeah, I'm here, I'm proud, and yeah, I'm ready to shout. Let's go get me and you. Take a chance, you take a risk. Don't hold back, win or lose. Don't care what the haters say. Fade them out, yeah, come loose. Feel my energy, embrace a brand new day. Stand up, yeah, I'm shouting out. I'm here, move out my way. Don't listen to the haters, yeah, no, I just stay around.
What a shot!
Stand up, yeah, yeah. Stand up, yeah, yeah. Stand up, yeah, yeah. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up tall, yeah, stand up proud, just stand up, stand up, stand up tall, yeah, stand up proud, stand up, stand up, stand up tall, yeah, stand up proud, just stand up, stand up, I'm ready to shine. Stand up, stand up, stand up tall, yeah, stand up proud, just stand up, stand up, stand up tall, yeah, stand up proud, stand up, stand up, stand up tall, yeah, stand up proud, just stand up, stand up, I'm ready to shine. Stand up, stand up, stand up tall, yeah, stand up proud, stand up, stand up, stand up tall, yeah, stand up proud, stand up, stand up, stand up tall, yeah, stand up proud, stand up, stand up, I'm ready to shine.
Woo! That's our second Jennifer Jones pretty much highlight reel. Hey, Jennifer.
Hi, Jen.
Hi.
That was pretty impressive to see, eh?
It's amazing to see how many great players there's been, and on International Women's Day to celebrate women in sport. It's awesome.
Yeah, I saw your tweet earlier. It was beautiful, by the way, honoring women. How are you doing as a fan this week?
I'm actually a really good fan. I don't get too nervous. So I think it's harder to be here because I've actually usually been at all the Briers and I've gone for the entire time. But so when the games aren't featured, it's just tough to wait for updates. I don't like that part. I'm a little bit more, I like to watch, see what's going on. I get a feel for how they're doing, but I'm trying and parenting at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Jen. You're back home, and then you're back in the bubble, right? It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that into the mixed doubles after this.
Yeah, I'll be back. I leave again in a week, so I'll be back doing that, and I'm very excited to come back. The ice is just outstanding. It was so fun to play on it. I'm itching to get back so I can throw some more rocks.
What are you looking we just had John on, of course. What do you, when you look at the men's field, what are you thinking? So much focus, of course, is on Olympic trials, in the fall. But right now, what are you thinking when you watch hubby?
How good the field is. It's easy. It's so good. Like to have this field with all of the top teams, it's just unbelievable to be able to do to have all these great teams. And then you're looking at some of like the New Brunswicks, the Nova Scotia, all these at the Quebec, all these teams that are just playing awesome. It's been fun to watch, and it's definitely going to come down to the wire. And you're going to see a lot of great teams that aren't going to make, I think, the championship round, and then a lot of great teams that aren't going to make the final three. So it's going to be a nail biter.
Jen, what did you and Brent, did you share some inside secrets about the ice? What did you guys talk about from your experience for his experience going into the bubble?
Yeah, obviously we talk a little bit of curling in our house. Actually, Skylar told me this morning, she before today, she wanted to grow up to be a fairy because she wanted to have the powers and be able to fly. So I thought that was, she was reaching for the stars, but she said that she's now changed her mind and she would like to be a curler.
Oh, that'd be an exciting day when they say that.
Yeah. So yeah, we talk a lot of curling in our house. So Brent and I definitely, we talk about the ice. I mean, he asked me what the ice was like, and honestly, it's some of the best ice we've ever played on. The speed was super consistent, great curl. You got penalized for a bad throw, which I think you should get penalized. If you're soft or you set it, it shouldn't just always come back. And so we were really, really treated to some great ice conditions and a ton of fun. And I told him to have some fun because it's going to be some of the ice that you just want to get out there every day and just keep throwing.
How do you prep for the mixed doubles? Are you able to get on the ice right now? I don't know all the quarantine rules across the country.
Yeah, I'm allowed to go practice, so I've been doing that. My mom has actually moved basically here for a few months, so she's been helping with the kids. I've been trying to make sure that I kind of keep my distance from them a little bit. So, but I am able to practice in Alliston, and I've been very, very lucky. The ice maker there has made the best curling club ice I have ever practiced on. Like, he is like gone above and beyond. He preps it every time. It's super fast. It curls. Like, every time I go on there, he's like, "How's the ice?" I'm like, "It was better than yesterday," and I didn't think that was possible. So I'm pretty lucky.
Nice. Jen, it is International Women's Day, some awesome moments. You have always spoken so eloquently about being a role model for your daughters. There's a lot of young fans out there watching right now. Any advice? Because I know how important it's been to you for so long to be a role model, to be a woman out there chasing her dreams.
It truly is. And when we set out to do what we love to do, you don't think you're going to be a role model, and then all of a sudden that happens, and you have these little kids and young women writing you letters and telling you the impact that you have on their lives. So I think we all have a responsibility to be great role models in the world today. And as women, if we can set the bar high and show these young women that anything is possible if you work hard, then all of this is worth it. Not that it wasn't before, but just, to me, that's the greatest privilege you could ever have, to impact somebody's life in a positive way. And as I sit here with two young daughters, and I want them to reach for the stars, and if I ask them what I tell them, and it's always that, "Can you do anything?" And they'll say, "Yeah, as long as we work really hard, we can achieve anything." there's been so many great role models before me. Colleen was one of them, Sandra Schmirler, Connie Laliberty, and so many women outside of our sport that have taken that step to open the doors so that we as women can achieve the dreams that we set out to do. Like, did I ever think that I'd be playing in 7 arena events a season? I mean, this is COVID, so it didn't happen. But growing up, we didn't have any events in an arena unless you made it to the Scotties. And now we as women get to play on television multiple times a year on great ice conditions and really showcase our sport. And we're very fortunate because we're one of the few sports that does that. So I feel privileged, and I do hope that we can show that, chase the dreams. Anything is possible, and the world is evolving and changing and growing. And I think we're all embracing that we're all equal, and that we can achieve greatness together.
Yeah, the gender equality in our sport is amazing. That was so well said. Let's bring Jen in on the picks of the night, shall we?
No, really?
You were not.
I just used my crazy 8-ball. But
my husband doesn't play tonight, so I can't even get off. Just like
you can't just give a free one because we're really making it work. Okay, Saskatchewan 2-1 against Canada's Gushu. Dunstone versus Gushu.
Wow.
I know.
That's gonna come down the last end.
Yeah.
I feel like Dunstone's got a little bit of fire after they lost that heartbreaker to Epping. I'm gonna go with Dunstone.
Off the loss, so he's tough.
Oh yeah, off a loss. Okay. Oh, I already chose. I forgot they were coming off a loss.
Okay, you're going with Dunstone. We call him McMurphy because, of course, Scott McDonald representing Nova Scotia.
Oh, McMurphy.
2-2 against the horses from Quebec, Fournier.
I'm gonna go with McDonald or McMurphy. Sorry.
McMurphy, you got it. You get the name right, exactly. Okay, Nunavut and Wildcard 2. I think we can put.
I think I'm gonna go with Wildcard 2 on that one.
Yeah. You are really going out on a limb. And PEI first. I guess this is, you hate to say two teams are out of it already, but Smith. Did you see Smith's around the horn? Wasn't that awesome?
He has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, me too.
Is what curling is. He is one of the most remarkable, spectacular people I have ever met, with the kindest heart.
Yeah.
About inclusion and just making everybody feel that they're loved. It's him. So for him to make a shot on such a big stage, I just wish the arena could have been full so he could have felt the rumbling of the vibration of the excitement. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, well said. He is lovable, isn't he? We gotta book him on the show, Devin.
I think he might. I think he might make an appearance tomorrow. There's some rumbling.
Okay.
I even watched the Newfoundland Provincial final just because he was playing. I watched a little bit of it just to cheer him on. So
my goodness, I watched the last 3 ends of that game, and I wasn't sure if anybody wanted to win it. That's the way it goes. It's just
no lack of drama in that one.
Maybe they didn't have Jennifer's ice maker there at the time. Maybe it was tricky ice.
I highly recommend. He's awesome. Devin, you should check it out. Come out to Allison. I'll get you on the ice next year.
I'm on my way. We'll do a segment. I'm in.
Segment now. Awesome. Well, so we can't wait to watch you in the mixed doubles. And you guys are quite the team anyhow. So
yeah. Well, I mean,
that's a hard event to win, isn't it? Wouldn't it be way harder than a Scotties to win the mixed doubles? Or am I crazy?
It is a hard event to win. It's the teams are so tough. There's always so many rocks in play. Like, you could have total control, and then in one instant it's gone. Like, it's a ton of fun to play. And Brent and I actually get along quite well, considering that we're married. Like, we do really well. We really enjoy playing together, so I'm excited for it.
Well, I'm telling you, if you play the way you did when we were in Kitchener-Waterloo in the fall, nobody has a chance, because you should have seen Jen out there. Pistols. I think I
saw it on the TV.
A run back triple for
That's
2.
Okay. Yeah, run back triple, not a problem.
No problem.
I was just so excited to be on the ice. I don't even remember the games. I was just so excited to actually be curling. It was a long, I missed it. And it really reinforced to me how much I knew I loved curling, but when it's taken away and you don't get to do it, it's that kind of, you almost yearn for it.
Yeah. True. Because it's in your soul, girlfriend. Listen,
It's been a massive part of my life, and I've had this feeling both my girls want to be curlers when I grow up. So I think it's going to be in our life for a very long time.
Ever.
It's a good day.
Going to the curling rink. That was actually.
They both told me their goal is to be on TV one day curling. So we'll see if we can happen.
Awesome.
They're coming for both of your records, so look out.
Oh,
I know.
no,
I hope they beat them. I do.
Just stop them now, okay? Just stop them. Just tell them they can get to 5. And I was hoping you'd get to 7, but it didn't happen. So just hold on at 6. No, I'm kidding you. I'm kidding.
Yeah. And you know what? Sharing a title with, or sharing like a record with you, Colleen, it's kind of the biggest honor in the world. So.
Oh, you're so nice. No, you take the record. Listen, now we're watching the mixed doubles.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the week, you guys.
Awesome. Take care. Okay.
That was so well said too. We've had the best guests tonight. Every night is good.
I was just gonna say, what a show.
What a show.
Yeah.
A lot of life lessons in this show today.
I needed this today.
Yeah. Even what Jennifer just said about mixed doubles, that you can have it set up and then you lose it. The end. She said it better than that. But it's so true that mixed doubles is really, to me, represents sort of the randomness. And the sometimes in life we want to control everything, and mixed doubles teaches you to expect the unexpected.
I don't know anything about control, Colleen.
No, you don't. No, not at all. You want to control the control. That's what you've got going on, Devin.
Okay, this is too much.
I just thought you'd like to see the team stats because of the top players of the top teams. So Cooey's on top at 88% with Alberta and Botcher. So they're sharing. Gusha's right behind at 87. Nothing to choose from really, with 86% from Manitoba and Saskatchewan. It just shows you how even the top teams are. Quebec at 85%. Then comes Northern Ontario Jacobs and Ontario's Epping. I didn't have room for Epping's name, but it's there.
It's right there.
It's there, clear.
Well, and we talked about this a little bit during the Scotties when we talked about those team percentages, right? And that we are used to seeing them anywhere from that 85% to higher. But Gushu will always say that, you can go out there and curl 86, 87% as a team. And if the other team's hot and curling 90%,
sure,
there's not much you can do.
Sometimes it comes down to that fine a difference. But anyhow, I just thought you'd like to see the stats that the top teams are there for a reason, and there's not much to choose between them.
Couple of last housekeeping things. I guess
blow the horn. That's our new sign off.
It is.
I'm ready.
People want to know if you can share the moose pattern of the toque on Twitter.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell them the book is those Newfoundland knitters. But I will share. Yeah, I'll share you the book. I think it's copyright laws.
Okay, and I have to say,
Ravelry.
I have to say this real quickly. It's been 301 his Brier title 1 year ago on this day. Wow. So that was right before the world kind of shut down in Kingston Pack Place. He won it. But I also remember this day because it's my dad's birthday. So happy birthday to my dad, Bob, back in Saskatoon. I miss you. I love you. And happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday to Dad. Happy birthday to you. Okay, we'll see you. Thanks, so for the incredible highlight reels today.
Happy International Women's Day. A lot to celebrate today. Enjoy the curling tonight.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Sound the moose horn.
Oh. Really?
Good night, good curling.